Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm sitting down with the coordinator of office and student assignment from the Troup County School System, Shanitra Ransom. Shanitra, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Alton.
Well, it's another year has gone by and we're getting ready to talk about getting our school kids registered again, right?
It's that time again.
My goodness, I'm going to tell you, I'm sure, for you're probably happy. The kids are probably, not time already. Well, tell us a little bit about what's going on and what are the dates for the registration?
Okay, this is our early registration for our 4- and 5-year-olds.
Okay.
For those students who will be entering pre-K and kindergarten for the upcoming school year. So this is an exciting time for parents because for many parents it's the first time their little one will start their experience with school. So we're very happy during this time of the year to see all the smiling faces of parents and the little kids who are able to register for pre-K and kindergarten.
4- and 5-year-olds.
4- and 5-year-olds.
And that's important that they're starting out very, very young. Do you hear any crying going on when the parents come to drop them off?
You see a little bit of faces that are just in disbelief that oh my gosh, my child is actually ready to start school, but the kids are so excited. And it's always a pleasure for us to meet those little ones and talk about starting school and how important it is to really do well in school. Okay. So we're very excited to have that registration, which is coming up very soon.
Oh, okay. All right, you say it's coming up pretty soon. So what are the dates that they need to keep in mind, Shanitra?
The registration will be held March 3rd through the 7th. That's the first week in March. Okay. So it'll be coming up very, very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking, I'm like, good Lord, this is already, half of the money's gone here already.
Time flies.
It does, doesn't it? Okay, where do they need to go to register? I know over the years you all have had multiple sites, but where do they need to go to register?
And we'll continue that with this coming registration. Okay. The main site will be at the Office of Student Assignment located at the Administrative Services Center at 100 North Davis Road, where the Troup County Board of Education is housed. Okay. We also have sites to convenience our parents at Hogansville Elementary and at West Point Elementary. Okay. And to be convenient, the times will be the same at all 3 sites. So we will have the hours available from 8:30 to 4 during that registration week. And we also have a late night on Thursday to accommodate working parents, where we'll stay open till 5:30.
Oh, okay. Well, very good. So 8:30 until 4 o'clock, and then extend it to 5:30 for those that may get off a little bit later.
Only on Thursday.
On Thursday only. Okay,
on
very
March
good.
the 6th.
On the 6th. Okay, very good. Now, last year the pre-registration for pre-K included. If they didn't go and get those shots, they didn't go to get a chance to come to school. So is that still in place?
That's a board policy that's still in effect. But we do have a little bit of leeway with our pre-K students. Many students who register for the early registration will still be 3 years old. Okay. So that may pose the issue with students who are not old enough to receive those immunizations. So with pre-K, it's not a requirement to bring your immunization or ear, eye, and dental record at the time of registration. Okay. If you're accepted into the program, not all students who apply to pre-K unfortunately are accepted. So we do have a process where we have to look at those applications and make assignments according to the number of spaces we have in pre-K. Okay. But those students who are accepted into the program will be asked to bring their documents from immunizations and ear, eye, and dental at a later date. Those students who are registering for kindergarten, however, are asked to bring their Georgia immunization form 3231 and the Georgia ear, eye, and dental form 3300 to the pre-registration.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. And I'm going to assume that they can get those from the health department?
Absolutely. Okay. The health department, their local pediatrician, but the health department's been a great partner of the school system to assist those parents in receiving those documents. And if they have any questions prior to that, I'm sure they'd be willing to assist them in that manner. Okay.
All right. Very good then. What about pre-K students there, Shanitra?
Pre-K, again, is a little different from kindergarten. Every student that comes to Troup County from kindergarten to 12th grade is assigned to a classroom. Okay. However, our pre-K program is a little bit different. So if a parent comes to early registration to place an application for their student, that's exactly what they're doing, applying for a space. Okay. And we have over 500 seats available, and sometimes the demand exceeds the supply. So we will not be able to place all of those applicants into a pre-K classroom, but a large majority of the applications are accepted. So that's a process where we most of the time have a drawing for seats, and based on the residence that the parent, resides in. That will determine the school and the seat where the child will attend pre-K.
Oh, okay, very good. And I'm sure, with a lot of kids coming into the school system every year, it gets more and more difficult to kind of get them placed, I'm sure.
Sometimes it works itself out where we're able to place students later in the year into the pre-K.
Okay.
So that's a wonderful relationship that we have with parents in the community, to where if they are on a waiting list for a pre-K position and one becomes available, that's always a great call to make, to let a parent know that we have a position open in pre-K for your child to attend our program.
Absolutely. I'm sure, like I said, that early learning, they want to get them in and get them started.
Very important.
Absolutely.
Very important.
When we talked about the Forms 32, 31, and also the 3300, is there anything else that the parents need to bring with them, Shanitra, when they get ready to register?
Absolutely. We require a copy of the child's birth certificate, a certified copy for pre-K, but a copy of the birth certificate issued by the state the child was born in. A lot of times we get the CUTE certificate from the hospital, and that is a keepsake, however, but it's not an official document. So we do require the official document issued by the state.
Okay.
We also require or request a copy of the child's Social Security card and the parent's picture ID, along with the parent's proof of residency.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, a moment ago, you were talking about getting that call or calling the family member and say, we have a spot for your child. And I know that you talked about the residency based on where they live. What proof of information do they need to bring to prove their addresses?
Certainly, Alton. There's a list of things that we accept. The easiest thing to grab is always your utility bill, your mortgage statement, or a rental agreement. We will accept your home telephone bill. Don't know how many people still, have a landline, but we accept the home telephone bill as a proof of residency. Things we don't accept would be a bank statement, a Medicaid, or some type of insurance card. But something that's tied to your home that can show that you are a resident of that home. And many times a parent may have someone that they reside with, a roommate or co-occupant, and the proof of residency in that person's name. At that point, we would ask for that person to present themselves as well, so that they can sign the Troup County Schools Affidavit of Residency. That's also a new form, relatively new form, that requires parents and co-occupants of homes to sign and have it notarized. And for convenience, we have notaries available at all of our registration sites to notarize that affidavit of residency. So that goes in hand with the proof of residency. Okay,
well, very good, very good. And we're talking about 4- and 5-year-olds getting registered. Is there a cutoff date to get your child registered, Shanitra?
Well, registration, this is early registration for kindergarten. It will continue. However, for pre-K, if parents fail to register during that March 3rd through the 7th week, then they will automatically go on the pre-K waiting list. So it is important to come out for pre-K and kindergarten, but it's of utmost importance if you are a parent of a rising pre-K student to come to the registration so that you can go into the batch with everyone else for priority processing. So we're excited to offer this early registration for our 4- and 5-year-olds.
Okay, all right. And if they're currently enrolled in pre-K, they still need to register for kindergarten as well?
Yes and no. If you are currently a pre-K student in Troup County Schools and you have not moved to a new attendance zone, then you will remain in your same school for kindergarten, and those parents will be exempt from registration. However, if you are a parent that attends a pre-K outside of Troup County Schools, maybe your child did not have a pre-K experience, or if you're new to Troup County, then you would need to come to the registration for kindergarten. Okay,
all right, well, very good. What about if they're currently in kindergarten, do they need to register for the 1st grade?
No, that's something that current kindergarten students through our high school students will what we call roll up. So they will just, be promoted to the next grade, and they are not required to come to our early registration. However, we do host a fall time, which is typically right before school starts, to meet their teachers for the next school year.
Okay, all right, well, very good. If the parents don't register during that window, March 3rd through 7th, are there some times that they can make that up?
For pre-K, again, they will go on a waiting list, but
Okay.
if for kindergarten, registration will continue. I think it's important to note that the Office of Student Assignment at the Administrative Services Center is open year-round. A lot of times people think when school buses leave in May and we say goodbye to the students we close up shop.
That's it, right?
That's further from the truth. We're there during the summer to serve parents' needs and to help them with registration prior to school starting, so that you are not making that last minute crunch to register before school starts. So we're there year round to assist and to help parents register for school.
Okay, well, very good. We talked about the various locations in West Point and also in Hogansville. And you talked about the times from 8:30 to 4 o'clock, and then the 5 extended time on Thursdays only. Now, all great information, but if parents had some additional questions or concerns about where their child should be going to get registered, are there contacts that they can call?
Sure, they can always contact the Office of Student Assignment at 706-812-7900, or they can visit our website at www.troop.org. We'd be happy to extend any kind of information we can to help parents feel more assured about registering for school and being ready for that process.
Well, absolutely. We just, the buses are rolling. We want to get these little ones signed up and
Absolutely.
get them off to a great and wonderful start. And I know that you every year come and share this information. I'm sure that the phones will start ringing and the doors will start swinging open so we can get our little ones signed up. All right. Well, Shanitra, we want to thank you very much for coming on the show today to sharing this information, and we look forward to sitting down together again next year, I guess, talking about this again.
It's always my pleasure.
Okay, thank you so much, Shanitra. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We'll be back for more City Week in just a moment. Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now my guest is the Public Information Officer from the Troup County Sheriff's Office. I have on Stuart Smith. Stuart, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Alton.
Well, it's a pleasure sitting down with you once more. I think you and the sheriff was on, I think, a little bit earlier in the program, and we want to talk a little bit about some of the updates and things that are happening down at the sheriff's office, and then talk about something that we want to kind of alert our seniors to so that they don't become prey. But before we get into that, Stuart, talk a little bit about your role as the Public Information Officer.
Well, I wear a lot of hats as a PIO. I do serve as a PIO, and one of those is I'm the media liaison between us and the local and state media, and that really comes into effect. I was real active the last couple of weeks with the ice storms.
I bet so.
And we were doing press releases and doing information on our Nixle emergency alert system and our Facebook page. We send alerts on that. And other than that, I do school programs. I teach the junior deputy program.
Oh, okay, great.
To the third graders in the elementary schools. And we started that back in August, and we've been rocking on ever since, and it's going really well. And but I do neighborhood watch meetings, I do public speakings, and just a lot of different things or anything the sheriff needs me to do.
Absolutely. Is that other line that says "as needed"?
Exactly.
As needed.
Exactly.
But
Yes,
you know what? I'm sure that your job, like when I was at the police department, is so rewarding. I heard you talking about the junior deputy program.
Right.
It is so rewarding to be able to go in and to impact the lives of our young individuals. Talk about some of the highlights of that for us.
Well, it's 4 lessons that we teach. It's being safe at school, being safe at home, bicycle safety, and saying no to drugs. And we talk about strangers and gun safety. And one of the rewards from it is after the 4 weeks, just seeing the kids kind of tell me what they got from it. And outside of that, if I'm out in the public, off duty, and some of these kids will come up to me and they'll say, "Hey, I remember you from this school."
Right.
Just making an impact and a relationship with those kids. It's real, and making a relationship with the schools.
Yeah, and that's such a good term, a relationship, because I can remember so many times growing up as a kid, the parents always say, "You don't behave, I'm gonna get that police officer to,"
Right.
Right.
We try to turn that, because if we hear a parent say that, we'll tell that kid, no, it's not how it works.
Yeah, absolutely, certainly right. Well, there are a number of things that have been going on with the Sheriff Department. One of the things that I found out before we came on, that there was a visit from the Watertown officers back last year. Talk about that for us.
Yeah, a lot of our local, a couple of our local police officers arranged a fundraiser for the victims of the Boston Marathon, and a couple of police officers from Watertown Police Department, they came down, and we partnered up with LaGrange Police Department, and we picked them up at the Atlanta airport and took them to all the local law enforcement agencies. We took them to Hogansville first, and they spent time there. Then we took them to dinner and then we took them down to West Point Police Department, and then they came to our sheriff's office, and we gave some presentations to them and had a little snack for them and just time to relax with them. Then went to the LaGrange Police Department.
Okay.
And that was on, I think, Friday, and then that Saturday is when they had the marathon.
Oh, okay.
And then that afternoon they went out to West Point Lake and took a pontoon ride and just spent the whole weekend here.
Well,
so it was a good time just meeting those guys.
Absolutely. I did hear about it when they were here in town. Didn't get an opportunity to meet any of the gentlemen, but I understand it was a wonderful time.
It was.
Well, very good. Now, there are a couple other things that's going on with the Sheriff Department. You guys have the Safe Camp that's going on. I think you're spearheading that as well?
We did that back in July. It was 2 weeks, and we had the 9 and 10-year-old boys and girls and 11 and 12-year-old boys and girls, and I kind of facilitate that. And they come down on Monday morning, and they leave every afternoon, and so they don't spend the night with us. But it was for 2 weeks, and then I'm already gearing up for next year. I'm already getting those dates finalized, and it's a partnership we do with the Parks and Rec. It's one of their summer camps, but we kind of host it through them. Okay,
well, very good. A lot of great things going on, and being a summer camp, I know the boys and girls definitely enjoy that, having something to do. Now, one of the things that I've noticed when I've driven down to the campus there is the visitation center.
Right.
Hadn't had opportunity to get in there yet. I would love to get in there, but talk about that for us.
It's we opened it, I think, in August. It's a visitation center. In the past, if you visited an inmate at the jail, could be a loved one or family member, you had to obviously park in the parking lot and go through the metal detector, be screened, and then walk up a flight of steps and take a good walk down to the visitation area. And it was loud, it was cramped, it was crowded. And that was also an opportunity for people to bring contraband into the jail. And now you park your car at the jail, you get out, and you walk just a few feet into the visitation center. And it's kind of like Skyping, if people are familiar with that. The inmate is inside the jail on a computer, and you're on the inside on a computer and a phone, and you visit from there. And it also has the opportunity through this company to visit from your house. If you can't make it to the jail, say you're a couple hundred hours away, you can just pay a small fee, and you can visit online with that inmate.
Oh, man.
And it's about a 20 or 30-minute visit.
Oh, okay, very good. And then just a small fee, they can go ahead and register, I guess.
Exactly, they can do it online. Yes,
okay. Well,
and I think there's a link on our website that people can go to.
Yeah, and talking about that, I know that the Sheriff's Office has a Facebook page as well. Talk
We
about
do.
some of the things there.
That was one thing we started back January 1st of 2013. We got our Facebook page back up.
Okay.
And we've got several thousand likes on it. And it's a way for us to put the good things we're doing on there, promotions or schooling our guys go to, we put that on there. If we're looking for a particular person that may have done a crime, we'll put his face on there.
Okay.
If we're asking the public for information about a crime, we'll put that on there. We put weather information. We were real active during the ice storms, talking about road closures and stuff. And a lot of people have gotten a lot of good feedback from it, because a lot of people are using social media more than just a website.
Absolutely.
Website's good for going and finding basic information, but social media, I can update it wherever I'm at.
Absolutely.
So it's worked really well.
Well, very good. And talking about the social media and then the interaction that people have with it, I know that you all had the PTS system now where you all interface with all the various law enforcement agencies.
They are, PTS went live several months ago, and they are in the process, I believe this week, of finishing up installing all the laptops in our cars. And that gives the officers access to our jail records. It gives him access to run GCIC information. And all his calls that come in from 911, they go to his computer in his car. And it also gives us a chance to look and see what LPD is doing.
Absolutely.
If they're looking for somebody, we can look up that information as well.
Okay, well, very good. And talking about finding people and kind of being able to interface with the various agencies, I know there's a lot of things that are going on in our communities now. We talked about that sometimes prey on some of our seniors in our community. And these are various scams that you see and get firsthand information about. Talk about some of the things that are happening in our community, if you don't mind, Stu.
It's probably a daily or weekly basis that the investigators would come to me and tell me about a new scam that's happened. And it's really ramped up the last couple of months, and they prey on our elderly people a lot. We have, scams. It's people checking credit, offering credit cards, or telling you may have bad credit, and for a fee, they'll fix that for you. And you may not have that bad credit, or you may be thinking, I do. And they'll tell you to go get a money card or a money order, and it could be for a few $100s or a few $1,000s, and they'll tell you to wire you that money. And when you wire that caller that money, you're out that amount of money. Or they may ask for your bank account information or your credit card information, and they may say, hey, we're just going to charge you $50, where until they've charged you $5,000, you know, and then they've gotten a hold of all your information. And there's just so many of them out there. It's bad credit. It's you know, it could be dating sites, it could be magazine offers, and all of these are false. None of them are good. And we tell people all the time, if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is.
Absolutely. You know, and it's something, I know sometimes you may have people to come by, you know, pretending to sell various things. I shouldn't say pretending, but selling various items.
Right.
What's some advice you can give our seniors if they get a cold call like that or someone comes by?
The best advice we can give them, if you do not know 100% who you're talking to, hang up the phone. Do not give your bank account information to anybody over the phone. Don't give your credit card information over the phone. Social security numbers. A lot of people, you know, they'll give that because the people they're talking to on the phone sound very trustworthy, when in fact they're not.
Right.
And we had one complaint come into our office about people posing as IRS agents over the phone and telling them that you owe back taxes, or we've already done your stuff for this year and you owe us stuff and we'll take care of it over the phone. And they'll do that. And another big one we had was people posing as law enforcement officers. They'll call up, they'll say, hey, I'm Lieutenant Johnson with the sheriff's office and you didn't show up for court last week. A lot of those people know they weren't supposed to be in court,
right.
But they may think, hey, I missed the summons. Or they'll tell you it's a $200 fine. We'll take care of this over the phone if you want. Just give us your bank account information.
Oh my.
Well, when they do that, they've taken $2,000 from them.
Yeah.
Or they'll pose as diverse power employees. We spoke with diverse power a few weeks ago, and there's people posing as diverse power collection agents. And we tell people, law enforcement's not going to solicit over the phone.
That's right.
If you have a summons, we're going to mail it to you or come to your house. And the IRS is the same way. They're not going to call you on the phone.
That's right.
You know, they're going to send you mail or come, you know, knock at your door.
Absolutely. And it's just so important that our seniors and as well as, you know, not our, you know, everyone be mindful of that. And, you know, if they don't, you know, if they know they hadn't created a transaction, it's best just to leave it alone.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And it's also a good tip to, I don't know if people do it daily, but at least make a point during the week to check your bank account. Check your phone records.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can get scammed over the phone. One thing we had, I think it was, I don't know the exact title of the scam, but people will call your phone and they'll hang up. Well, a lot of people, they'll immediately call that phone number back, you know, instead of just letting that missed call go. Well, when you call it back, you're calling an international number that appears to be a local number. And when you call it back, you're immediately charged about $20.
Oh, my.
And every minute you're on the phone, they're charging you $20 more.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's
So
another
many
one.
things, you know, technology is a wonderful thing, but then it can have its misuses.
Exactly.
And we just definitely want our citizens of Troup County to be aware of that. As we wrap up, Stuart, I know that coming up, you have the 5th annual car show that will be
Right.
taking place. Talk about that for us.
On Saturday, May the 3rd at Pine Road Park, it's our 5th annual car show, and it benefits the Georgia Sheriff's Pineland Camp for the young boys out on Youngs Mill Road, and we've done this for 5 years. And all the money raised from this, we donate that to Camp Pineland to help these young boys out. Absolutely. And it's been a great success. We ask people to come out on May the 3rd at Pine Road Park, and they can, if you have a car, or if you want to help us with the car show, you can contact Major Charles Nixon at the Sheriff's Office, and he's been coordinating this for the last 5 years.
Okay.
And it goes really well. We take our Hummer out there, we get some old antique police cars out there, and we have food and door prizes, and so it goes really well out there.
Okay, well, very good. You want to give his contact number if you don't
Yes, Major Charles Nixon at the Sheriff's Office, 706-883-1616. And there's also information on our Facebook page.
Okay. Well, Stuart, I want to thank you very much for coming on and sharing this information, giving us an update. Still got to get out there to see that visitation center.
We'd love to have you. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back for more City Week in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining for City Week this week. My guests have been from the Troup County School System, Shanita Ransom, Coordinator of Office and Student Assignment, as she talked about the upcoming registration dates on March the 3rd through the 7th, so that you can make sure that you get your little ones registered. So make sure you go out to those various locations that she indicated. Also, I had on from the Troup County Sheriff Office, the Public Information Officer, Stuart Smith, as he talked about some updates of things happening in and around the Troup County Sheriff Office. And we closed the show by talking about the car show that will be taking place on May the 3rd out at Pine Road Park. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed those interviews. And as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.